nze mu opinion yange the show was not fair. Ne bw'oyagala nsobola okuleeta eyo show ne tugidissecting one by one nenkulaga why it was not fair. Yeah, so yeyo ndowooza yange. Nze nga bwe nalabye his mode of questioning, number one, his mode of moderating ebadde si ya bwenkanya bwoba kyensobola ogamba kubanga for example excuse me, for example, every time SHEEBAH is asked a question, yeah, he actually lets when SHEEBAH is asked a question, yeah, he lets her be as brief or as the way she wants to answer it. When CYNDY is asked a question, he does follow-up questions. That already shows unfairness. Yes, he does follow-up questions. And then as a psychologist, you can see the first question he asked is that it was a question that was open-ended, but it is also a question that is suggesting inferiority. CYNDY gwenga gwe kiki ennyo ky'olowooza ky'oyimba ekiri kyanjawulo ku SHEEBAH by'ayimba. But man, thank God my wife is a smart person. She flowed him like to the ground. Era nebigambo nebimukala mukamwa.
When I went, we didn't follow anything that we were promised to follow. But weeleza ebibuuzo ngamba mulamwa gwe guno nga bona okola debate. Wabeerawo mulamwa, this is the notion. So we were sent the notion and we knew everything that were our talking points. But when I got there, everything changed. But I'm glad. You understand, because everything flipped on the last minute. But I'm glad still Chagenze bulungi. It's not as freestyle as our first press conference was. That was more freestyle. Everybody was like, be yourself, let's do this. But this one was planned. This is a debate. We want to set it up like a debate. We're arguing on these points. And then when I got there, the moderator flipped the switch. But I'm still glad it happened how it happened, because it puts truth out there. A lot is being seen at the moment and being revealed. So I'm still glad it happened. If there's anything you know about me, fear is not one of them. Omanyi, living home when you have children is the hardest thing ever. When it's time to leave, I have to hide. And then they first hide the kids in the other room. Then when they hear me leaving, they come out. You understand? And I have to hold them and hide again. So we play this card game which takes a long time. You can't time it. So that happened to me and I ended up arriving late. The entire time I was in touch with the team, like when they give me some time. I want to leave a happy baby at home, you understand? So that took some time for me. That is why today I was a little bit late.
There is no way you can ask a person to name people without talent that have done an empire, and I give you people with talent that have no empire. It is none of anybody's business in a topic that involves CYNDY and SHEEBAH to bring other people. Wakitegera kyengamba. Tosobola gamba nti gwe okoze emyaka bwe giti mawulire. Kati mbulira banamawulire abayina bye bakozeewo n'abatayina. Why is it important?
Life happens to everyone. I try to be the best that I can. Like the last time I was there early, but this time I failed. Because of obviously I'm still glad I made it. When I came in, I was very positive about the moderator because try to know mulamwa. So ngamanya agenda following mulamwa, and I was not scared because what I don't want to do at the end of the day, as a grown woman, is this bickering. You understand? Sagala kuyomba na muntu on national television. There are too many people watching us, so I don't want that. So when I came in, I was calm. And I'm like, now we're going to follow a script, and and I'm good, I'm ready. And then when Atu say and the moderator flipped all of a sudden, it took me some time. If you notice in the beginning, I was very defensive because in my mind, I'm like, you're not following what we spoke about. This is not what...
I heard you saying,
we were sent a list, and I knew NBS is a professional television, so obviously I think they're going to be professional. So I got there and it was totally unprofessional. So for a moment, I was Banz Jekuchi, Kumulamwa, and I was a bit angry. Then after some time, the neighbor did it. I'm like, you know what? Breathe, these things happen. Intervene yongerayo.
So okugamba nti nze nkusinga kino, not ateteekamu abalala. For what? Why do you want to name names? That's a very childish and uncalled for question. And then nachiremerako. And then when Sheba evaded the question, he shut the show. It was obvious. He shut the show. She was asked a question, she asked a question back, and that was it. She never answered it. But when CYNDY tried, actually she answered the question, but I mean the intellectual ability to dissect the answer was lacking. It's not that she didn't answer. So it was a fault on their side. The turbines were too slow. The water was flowing too fast. I'm there for my wife. So I have no opponent in my mind when I'm doing this. I'm doing it for my wife. Sakoze ebiruma bayo babyabalumye ebyo byabo. Nakoze ebisanyusa mukyala wange. Yes, to show her support. Oba byabalumye ebyo byabo, they should not blame it on me. Because I'm not responsible for what you feel out of my actions. No.
Wabula saategedde but commitment gye yabaddeko okubeera ku side eri nze ndowooza. I hope he's paid because he did that really well. We could all see it. Ndabadde ansibako ekigambo. That's why I looked at him like, what do you mean I should be calm and zikakane? What is happening? I'm sitting here on my seat, and I've been answering the questions, which, by the way, they were the only ones answering questions. I was barely given any time n'okuddamu. So abadde agezaako okulaga audience nti nze akoze eki, nzaali okuva ku mulamwa ate nga si kituufu. He was trying to paint a picture nti I'm not calm, okitegeera. I know that I'm trying to make it look like the other side is calm. And that was not true. Everybody could see it was plain, and it was very plain that I was calm the entire time. The other team was really shouting at me, but mostly the loudest person was Wisdom. He was really, really loud and just screaming at me. I'm like, stop shouting at me, let me answer. I came here, this is my interview, not yours. Give me time, let me talk. So out of all of them, I was like, let me mention one person that everybody gets the point. And I hope point to no, they did not stop. But still, I was trying to make a point which didn't reach, but it's all right.
Truthfully, it wasn't a planned move. Because I know my wife, and I'd been watching the show Najirabye from the beginning. Because when she came in, I came in with her. Yeah. So Narabye, the way the unfairness was going on, Nze just kumugamba, you're handling it well. Just calm down, keep going. That's it. It wasn't a planned move. It was just out of our connection with Jutina. I can know that she needs some encouraging words. So because there was so much, loudness and so much just basically embedded walk stage. It was very unfair. I'm the only person who can try to, encourage her. Olaba Titanic ya sinking, n'abagenda okugidambula ne basinkinga the other day at Victoria. Kati baade balina okufunayo amalobo agajjayo emirambo. Okitegeera. So that is the yes for this show, and of which they did terrible. In my opinion, I'm constitutionally allowed to give my opinion. So yes, in my opinion, I think the damage control became damage in itself. At this stage of the battle, it was unnecessary. It was really unnecessary because they would have been doing better things. Because really it didn't add much value to the battle as the first interview. Yeah.
Social media is not a real place. It's not a venue where you can go and make money. Social media does not buy tickets, does not sustain you. And social media is for everybody. Anyone can get 1 million subscribers if they have a budget for it. I have a lot of examples I could give. How many people follow Afrigo Band? How are their socials? They're not amazing. You understand?
YouTube channel.
Thank you. So, but they are tewali artists asinga kujuza weekly, daily shows ngachi. Nga Afrigo Band tuyinza okulaba ono DJ w'ebinyanyanyanya. Thank you. Sunabe na inaba bagundi bameka bafani ku YouTube. naye ajjuza ebisaawe. You see what I'm saying? He's bigger than almost all the DJs. Kubanga yenga DJ ajjuza ki? Ajjuza ekisaawe. So social media numbers are not a real place. Those are not numbers you can rely on. But Lugogo Lugogo grounds, Independence grounds, that's a real place. You understand? And then Lugogo that I filled up in 2020, is a real place. You see what I'm saying? The cricket oval is a real place. My numbers are there. My history is there. You can touch it. You can feel it. But my followers on my Facebook, they're 800,000. I didn't get them. They didn't come to the show. That means it's not a real place. I got 35,000 people. Well, how many of them follow me on social media? Not even 50%. You understand? In fact, only 10% bangobera kuchi ku social media. But the fans came through. So for me, that's how I measure success, not numbers on Facebook. That's the point I was trying to put to her attention. Until right now, Botunida numbers everywhere. It looks as if I'm weak. Until you're on the street and you start asking people who is Team CYNDY and who is Team Gundi. Success is not mbozi. It's actual numbers. That is what it's about.
Because the people buying, it's like you sponsor your social media handle.
Yeah, it's right there. You can see it when you go on Facebook and see all the pages that are sponsored. So Kulabantino page, SHEEBAH, Spice, or whatever, Winning Waji, whatever. I'm giving examples. They are sponsored. So Chida Bida now and Chidi sponsored. So that means you're paying for the promotion of the page. In mine, that doesn't show up when you it's organic. Yeah. So if we're going according to social media numbers, and I have 800,000, if those people ever showed up for a gig, sija kudamukola. I can do one show a year and retire for 6 years and come back with another show. But those are not real numbers. We still have to advertise because omuntu ajja ku show. Ali owino, ali ku malls mu kibuga, ali koboko, ali soroti. You understand? That's why we still advertise. Others twali komyewa ku social media. Yes.
Then akkiriza nti fan wo nagamba the wabadde fan wo, even right now achali fan wo, but gwe nga atulaze nti gwe nga gwe CYNDY gwomuletedde oyinamu obuntu bwokola obutonotono obwo bwolina oku ironing out gwomulaga bad blood.
No, I don't think I show her any bad blood. I think people should realize that this battle was brought from her team. It is them who thought about the idea to ite CYNDY. You understand? Vibe chaganye to ite artist sobola kwongera ki vibe kweno show. Kwe kunkubira kati singa nali muntu atayagaliza sali koze eki. Sali chikoze. But I looked at it, I'm like, you know what, it's all right. It's good business and it's all right. Sagala kuba ontino nze nzakola ki siyamba ku bantu. Kwe kukkiriza okudda ku ki ku show. If I didn't want that, sali genzeyo sali chikoze, I would have rivaled and done another show in another venue, because you all know another venue is available. You understand? It is available and nobody has paid for it. Forget propaganda. That place is available. Nalisa sulide venue endala ne tubisanye ndiye na days and nenziredi. You understand? And I've brought those numbers before so I can bring them back again. So I didn't want to do that. I said, you know what? It's okay if I help another artist to take a move vibe nesente mukolechi munsasule. So that defeats the point of nze sagaliza. No, that's not true.
Because I know Wagambia, it's you has been wanting this from day one, 5 years ago. Because 5 years ago, that's 2019. That's like almost after your show. Nagamba gwe are pushing for this battle. Nagamba okay, time we tusekanji kuwe. Wali abayimbi abalungi. Actually abadde ngajja kyogereri abayimbi abalungi. Lwaki bo sibogenda ko lwaki ye kubo olaba gwe omwetaaga sosiye.
I'll say that again, they called me. So CNZ abada netaga, and we're talking about 2023. If she had accepted this battle in 2020, her point would stand. Nay, right now it doesn't stand. After 2020, there's so many things I did. I got married, I had kids. I forgot about the battle. So that's not going to happen. No, she will never do what? That side will never allow. But this year, because they needed me, then they got in touch with me for the battle.
Chintu cha simu. Incidentally, I was in Arua, Nali for some family affairs, and I didn't even know SHEEBAH was in town, to be honest. kati nze abaana bankubira ne baŋŋamba mbu abaana abayaaye babbye essimu ya Sheebah. Nagamba bagibbye aluwa nga tuli ku show biki. Then I'm like, nabaŋŋamba genda online. So I go online. First thing I saw is an inbox, Facebook. Guy, waliwo guy asindi. I don't even know the person. He's like, yo, we took Sheebah's phone because she insulted our in-law. Nengamba, this thing is going to take a wrong direction. Very wrong direction. Oyo muntu nemubuuza, do you really know who has the phone? Paka nalyo tanziramu. Nenkubayo essimu because I know people in Arua. So nenkuba essimu to a few people to find out who was the show organizer. So they tell me the show organizers, there were 2 guys. And these are people I know. People I know closely, We've done a lot of things together from childhood and stuff. So I'm like, I call the first guy, his phone is off. I call the second guy, his phone is off. I'm like, who do I look for at this moment? There are some radio presenters who are close to these people. So actually one of them is my cousin. So I call him, I'm like, Andy, where are these guys? Can you find them? He's like, let me try. He tries, couldn't reach them. I'm like, so the phone was stolen, and the way I see it, this thing is going to take a wrong direction. We need to do damage control. One, as the Lugwara people, this is going to be bad on us. As a rural city, this is bad for us. But we need to find a way to bring that phone back to the owner, and we do some damage control. So he tells me, let me try and see. Then he gets back to me and says, no, these people, their phone's off. I've been to this guy's home, he's not there. I've been to this guy's home, he's not there. So we jump the whole day, back and forth, back and forth. Sometimes, people find it hard to swallow the bitter pill, which I totally respect. I don't know who that lady is. She doesn't know who I am. And I've never met her. So I don't know on what grounds.
When it comes to social media, she's far beyond me. When it comes to the streets, I am far beyond her. You understand? And I would rather deal with the streets because that's real cash that you can touch. But online, those are just bragging rights. Abantu online mejo so akola concert bona ne bakola chi. Ne bajja. Olanti oyinaba fan yabo when you go live to speak. They don't come out. And they're there, they've subscribed. When you have a million followers and you're on live on Facebook all day, you will not get 1 million views. We see it with our biggest people who hit social media. Ngabola banti principle. Wabera live. Uganda yonevayo. Nera teziwera 1 million. You see what I'm talking? So social media, those are not real numbers. That's why I didn't want to go through that argument. Kubanze tezitoa. The argument is twogere ku street. Tugenda awo mu kibuga, tugende mu owino, tugende wakati tunyumirira eri ani ayina abantu. Ekyo kyonze kyendaba. Other social media, no. But I don't think today's interview was necessary. No. Today I accepted to do that interview 2 hours before it. Since yesterday I'd said no. Even this morning I'd said no to it. 2 hours before it is when I said, you know what? Okay. Yeah, I said, let's do it. Let's get it over with. Because the team thought it would be a very good marketing strategy. So I said, you know what? I don't want to. So I could miss a show. So I said, let me show up, and I showed up. My husband shows up for me every day, just you don't see it on camera. You understand? Just because Muchirabi Ekati on camera. But he shows up for me on a daily. You understand? He comes to my rehearsal. When I'm having a meeting, he's like, do you want me to show up? You understand? He supports me 1,000%. Just you rarely get to see it. So even at the show, he came to show his support. Now, you need to ask him why he felt the need to come. But I think he must have sensed that his people are attacking his woman. You understand? There was so much, it was coming at me. So I think he felt the need to come, assure me, you're all right and this is okay, because he just told me to calm down. He said, it's all right, calm down. And then he left the stage. So maybe he felt the need. So he came to speak to me. Just give me a word or two. Navao. And after that, you could sense my body language changed. But I think every woman gets to that point. Bulema in a timing here. might be my time now, then, you know, it will be her time if she wants for it to happen. Yeah, but if you ask, we didn't plan that at all. I think love is a beautiful thing. When people see it, they gravitate towards it. It's good energy, and that's why people like it. And then favor artists to kwekanya basajja baffe. So it's like, oh my God, they're showing, you know. So that is, I think, chechiwunza abantu. But there are millions of married people in this country. There's so many people running relationships. Bali banji. Now the fact that we are celebrities, which everywhere with you, I think they get that vibe of Jay-Z and Beyonce or some kind of thing, and that's fascinating, you know. But what he's doing is what any normal married man would do. For me, it was the highlight. Definitely it was. And him being there made me relax even more, you know. So, but I don't know how she felt like, oh, that was the nail in the coffin. That I don't know. But for me, that worked wonders. So, Bagambi, we don't sing each other's music. I don't sing Sheebah's music. Sheebah doesn't sing mine. That is the law Jebatadeo. Everything else you're free to do with your, you know, show. But that particular in Bagamba Temuchikola. And it was not in my plan to do any of her music, so I'm good. Because that's normal protocol. You know, it just happens that sometimes when people show up and you have time, you're like, but that is standard. To really show, if I've not called you, you know, don't show up at the event because planning it day. Not because sikwagala, but just have not planned, so inzo tukane ku disappointing. And then echirala about not coming backstage, that is obvious. Fun was side enzo kujja side ya fena to take into, you understand, because there are a lot of emotions going on. So it's only for security reasons. One get a day, no litasala kudden. Because in the beginning, it's about give you time 3 times. And then the last time is, okay, now let's compare, you know, kuluimba. Creativity, talent. That's the last session, then share your okay, good. So even I was not planning for my fans to cross to her side, no. I didn't want that. I don't want that to happen either. Even I don't want her people to come this side. So So I don't have any issue at all. I think I like the fact that the artists are very creative and get jalaba if she sees fit. And I see she loves Beyonce very much. So maybe she's going to put like a Beyonce line in her music or whatever. As long as takwata kuzani, kuzange nange ngasikwata kuzize. I think that works. It's fair enough. Yeah, I'm having a very, very good team actually designing my outfits. Of course, Charlie Gonza is the usual suspect. We have Nelly Salvatore. Actually, that's the same team that worked last time. And we have a surprise designer who I'm not telling you until the event. Yes. So they've come together, never crafting us something which I've never looked the way I'm going to look on Friday. No, even for me, some things were uncomfortable, you know. But I was like, you know what? It's been a few years. We want to give them a bang. So they've flipped everything. Some things were uncomfortable for me, but I've accepted because I know, first of all, it's a battle. And then it's also my biggest show since after lockdown. Yeah, so, you know, we're bringing it. Yes, we're definitely bringing it. And we know on her side, they've always they've always gone all out with outfits. So we also had to, you know, like step up our game with the clothes, because you know I'm not about clothes. Me, I'm about the show. Yes. Me, I'm about my energy, my performance, my vocals. That's what I concentrate on. So this time we're like, you know what, let's also add this. Let's give them something to compete with, something to compete about. And so on every level we have tried to compete. But still, I'm capitalizing on talent. So in Nyimba Zembade Nyimbira Mukia Wansi, I've increased the key to sing it even higher. Zembade Nyimbira Wagulu Nembaraganti Soboloko Kirida. You understand? So all that, we've put all of those things into the show. And I'm glad I have dancers who are committed, they are passionate about, you know, doing a good show, about winning at the end of the day. So Fetuli ready. MC, buli omu alina okulonda MC we. Yes, everybody's supposed to get their own MC. Okay. Yeah, and their own MC, their own DJ. Yes, so as you know, I'm a friend to so many MCs and so many DJs. It's been hard for me even up to this point. It's been hard, yeah, to pick one. You know, I wish they would let us just have, because remember at Boom Party I had like 10 MCs, you know, because I want all of them. They want to come and support. This is a gig, so, you know, you follow the guidelines because I'm not the boss here. So, Trino Kulonda, our own MC, and it's been really hard to decide. Our own DJ, it's really hard to decide. Yeah, but at the end of tonight, we'll have to make a choice. Kwa jukida event, you know, Eddie Festival, so itandika misana. and then all the way to the night. Yes, so even our DJs are going to be competing from morning when they arrive. Because they asked for one. So we have to get a guy who can sustain from, from the time that's allocated until the show. I think we're going to be in a good place. Nze nchiraba mweno angle. I am not trying to be her friend. It's not like after the show I'll say, hey, Bambi Katita Anjagala. You understand? It's not like Anjagala at the moment, so it's not like we're aiming towards friendship, because then it would be a very shaky ground. But we are aiming at having a good show. And that we can achieve and keep on our careers. It would have been sensitive if we were, we are friends and then now we're against each other. No. This is not the first disagreement we get into. You know very well, even with the Federation and UMA, we argue on a lot of levels. Even with our views about marriage, about family, about children, we argue even on that platform. So for me, we'll be back to business after the show. Yeah, so whoever is beaten, I think, will go back home and rethink, and that will be good. Again, that was quality work, and then that at the end of the day, it will be good for the industry. Then even artists who are going to be there, okay, people want this, they don't want this. So when they go back to that drawing board, they will know what to do. Yes. Because that's why at interviews I say this is between me and SHEEBAH. Mulekerawo kuyingizawo ki abantu abalala. And even on stage I maintain that unless the organizers want to create a certain atmosphere. But as the president of UMA and a leader of artists, ekyo sikyagalirako ddala kuyingiza abantu mu lutalo olwange. This is not for the industry. Kiri ky'abantu babiri tetwabula buli omu kuba naye abasigadde. Somebody on her side might need to work with somebody on my side. Then after the show they can't connect. So for me on my side, I've told all the artists who are on my stage, I'm like, you don't have to say you are Team CYNDY. No, I've called you because you're good in your own right. Genda okole show yoveeko koleki ogende tewe creating gira bizibu. Yeah. Yes. Wona we bakuwa stage A oba B, me I don't care. Gendo oyimbe ekintu kyo webaza abantu bokubibyo, or say thank you for coming for the show. Oveko, don't create any kind of scenario sikyagala. I don't think she should take it personally, and I'm not going to take it personally, because the song is there and we need to sing it. So it doesn't mean they're Sheebaholic, or it doesn't mean also that they're syndicates. It just means they did a song with the person, and on that day they need to show up to execute that song. Yeah. First of all, I thank God that I am here. You understand? Sometimes I want to pinch myself because of the opportunities I still have after all these years. Because artists abatandika nange, they would kill for the relevance I have today. So I thank God that I'm still relevant, that musobola comparing these young artists abaleero. I don't take that for granted. Njagala kwebaza ba Team Syndicate. They are the most patient fans ever. Because namale myaka 3 music wange simufuddeeko ndi kubirala naye they stayed loving CYNDY. Ekyo ekintu kyo, God bless you for that. Mwebale nnyo kunsupportinga, era ku Friday I pledge I'm not going to disappoint you. That's not going to happen.